Just want to get out here and clear something up. I'm seeing so many people are confused with the wording and translation in Matthew 19:9 and are believing that adultery is included in that exception. And I'm going to give you uh, clear evidence that it is not in this case. Okay, so we're going to look at this first. The word in Greek, right? Porneia means sexual immorality and fornication. The word in Greek of mochia means adultery. Now, when the word porneia is by itself, there is the assumption it includes adultery, and it very well may include it. But I want to point out when it doesn't, okay? So we can better understand what is being said in Matthew 19:9 for those who believe that adultery is included in the exception. Okay, so I'm going to read Matthew 19:9 in KJV and NIV, then 1 Corinthians 6:9 in the same translations to show exactly what it is saying. So let's go Matthew 19:9 KJV. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife except it be for fornication and shall marry another, committeth adultery. All right, we're going to stop right there. So you hear that, fornication and adultery. Let's go to the NIV. I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife except for sexual immorality and marries another committeth adultery. So this time, porneia means sexual immorality, right? KJV of 1 Corinthians 6:9. Now ye know that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God. Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers. Stop there. It's got fornicators and adulterers listed in the same sentence. The NIV, or do you not know that wrongdoers will not inherit the kingdom of God? Do not be deceived, neither the sexual immoral, nor idolaters, nor adulterers. So this time, porneia is sexual immoral. So we see in both of these passages in KJV and NIV, they were both translated from the original Greek wording in both cases, where porneia was for sexual immorality or fornication, and mochia for adultery. All right, so let's look at this. I'm going to give you an example to make it clear that in both cases, adultery is not included in the mentioning of porneia. Okay, so they both appear in the same sentence to counter distinguish them as being two different meanings. Check this out. So let's take a look at 1 Corinthians 6:9, and let's use America for the word porneia and Florida for mochia. So if I meant to include Florida, which is in America, in the mentioning of America, there would be no need to then specifically name Florida separate, because Florida is in America. So if I mention in addition to America, Florida, then I'm basically saying that there is a distinction. I'm separating Florida from America in this sentence. So if America represents porneia or sexual immorality and fornication, under normal circumstances, America includes Florida, right? But once I put Florida in the same sentence, which is representing adultery, that is evidenced by distinction that in the case, Florida or adultery is not a part of the mention of America or sexual immorality or fornication. Okay. It's simple. It's simple as that. So I hope that you have better understanding on that now, that with that example, if I meant for Florida, which was adultery, to be included in America, which would represent porneia or sexual immorality or fornication, I would not need to mention Florida separately. It's mentioned separate to counter distinguish that in this case, in this sentence, although Florida is normally in America, I'm separated from America. It's different. So although maybe adultery is included in sexual immorality, in this case, by me mentioning adultery specifically and separately, I'm distinguishing that it's not in this sentence. All right? No exception. Adultery is not the exception. I hope that y'all have got meat off the bone from this. Again, I don't want to be right. I want to affirm the truth of God. I want to be in alignment with God. And that's the truth of God. Bunch of preach. I love you. Y'all enjoy yourself.